Sousveillance. That's French for self-surveillance, or more accurately, making sure you keep the receipts. In July of some year, we'll assume it's this one for the hell of it, Chronicles of Disney documentarian Zhou pursued Jeremy Renner and sent explicit texts, but by August he wasn't interested. Zhou Instagram then said Jeremy Renner sent her inappropriate WhatsApp images from her Instagram, and in person a threat to turn her into ice. She also alleged that they were in a romantic relationship at one point. Jeremy Renner sent her a cease and desist for, he says, now he's exposed this data, threatening to harm him publicly, damage his reputation, unless he agreed to promote Chronicles of Disney, since they worked on the bit together. Now, I'm going to be using this and abusing this to get clicks. This is clickbait, right? Okay, we'll just do that as clickbait because, quite frankly, pot and kettle at this point. So what's going on here? Can we all agree that both of them just got done with the project? And did you know there was something called Chronicles of Disney before you heard this? I vaguely remember seeing it. So let's break this down. Are any of you using any software or service that will let someone else send you a piece of information and then erase it? Make note of that. Write down all the services you use and a column for that behavior. Okay, next. Are any of these services something that will erase data later on at a timed period of time? Can you disable it and never let it turn back on? Are you in a state or country that allows you to keep the receipts? Are you using services that let you keep the receipts? How to properly accuse somebody of something. I'm going to say that NServe, one of my old buddies, sent me an inappropriate pic of a kangaroo wearing a tutu. And I have it sent to me via email. We're going to use the worst case scenario if someone's making a false accusation. I have an email. It shows the to and from, and it has the evidence in it. Okay, that's lock, stock, and two barrels right there. The next part of that is you can enter email into evidence in a courtroom by saving it as an EML file. It's a format that embeds, we'll call it a trip code. I'm not going to call it what it really is, but it includes, we'll call it metadata. Screw it. It includes some form of data that makes it impossible to fake it or virtually impossible. No tampering can occur unless you want the tampering called out, because it saves whatever hash or whatever variation of it is from the sender and the receiver that have to agree to it in order to make sure the email isn't corrupted. This is an old standard, or some other method, depending on the system you're using. Have any of you seen evidence provided by Snapchat or some other social media pages like Facebook or whatever, and heard people like me explain that the services alter the images, or the services alter the data, or they alter it each time it's transferred, sometimes for trackability? So, what do we got here? Two people arguing, very prominently mentioning a recent project that may or may not be getting attention, and they're arguing back and forth about a mutually agreed to, they had a relationship. All right, every one of you is like, drama. This was a relationship you were in, and you've already stated that you were in a relationship, but suddenly there's something you can define as inappropriate, naughty communication between each other that somehow is a violation of some sort. Now, I don't normally pick sides. I demand receipts, which means you state on this date, on this century, year, month, day, hour, minute, and second. Okay. Count the numbers. That's how many digits? Okay, that's a 14-digit time and date stamp mode. And what it contained verbatim without you editing it. And you state what it is. It's an inappropriate image. Okay, post your proof where inappropriate images aren't censored. They were in a relationship, she says, and apparently she wanted the relationship played up for, according to him, to give attention to a project, and he wasn't interested by about a month later, from July to August. That's like a May-December romance, only it's much shorter. And her assertion is they were in a relationship, which seems to be the same thing he's accusing her of, saying, you have to agree to promote Chronicles of Disney, and you have to promote that we had a relationship or whatever. It's like, I'm not siding with anybody here. I'm saying provide the receipts, time and date stamps, and say somehow this was outside of the duration of time where people typically send inappropriate content. I've had this happen over the internet a while ago with someone who got mad at me because I said something that proved to me that I'm not going to be in a relationship with you because you if something can be taken multiple ways, most of them good, but you pick the only negative way, no. We're not going there. That will never happen because I still have a scar in my chest from a butcher knife. I'm not going into a relationship with a woman that will go out of their way to pick the negative outcome when there's a majority of good outcomes, which I'll state in one case, I didn't want anybody to know someone was interested in me because, number one, somebody might attack them, and I want to protect people who I care about. And two, I didn't want them in being embarrassed because stereotypical behavior from women I've dealt with in my past has been that they don't crow from the rooftops that they're in a relationship with me or interested. They lie to me about being interested. Because, and if I'm not talking to women, all of you guys have had this happen at least once. No, it's not our imaginations. They tell us about this later. I'm not including the hundreds of, literally 100. It's 110. Okay, it's 100. We'll call it, it's 110. Yes, I keep score. So do you. 100 times I've had someone probably hit on me and refuse to acknowledge it later because they simply didn't proactively acknowledge it. But I've had 38 times out of that 100 and something where someone eventually said, yeah, I was hitting on you and you were too dense to notice it. No, you didn't provide enthusiastic and prominent and very visible publicly interest and acknowledgement, and I'm not going to go in and get involved with you. The only time I've been in relationships is when someone was making it very obvious and said it out loud. That means you can't take it back. Because I've seen shit happen not on the internet or the news, but in person watching people have cat fights because they won't admit their feelings. Just say what you feel. Zhou, were you interested in him? Yes or no? These are the questions I have to answer. It's going to happen in court. Were you interested in him? Yes. Did you pursue a relationship at all at any time? Doesn't matter if it's reciprocal. Did you? Yes. Are you stating that you never sent inappropriate stuff or he never sent inappropriate stuff objectively if I received it? The standard is, if you wouldn't feel comfortable sending it to me, it's a private communication. Did you do that? Yes or no? No exceptions. You got to answer the question. Yes. Did he? Yes. Were you mad at him for doing it every single time he did it? No. This is drama. I've sent a inappropriate picture of me dressed up as a lobster to a girl once. She said that was inappropriate content to be vague about it because she didn't want to say he was dressed as a lobster and it was Halloween. Yes, that actually happened. No, you're not going to know who she is. It's not a problem. Next, Sousveillance. Everything you do, you spy on you. Make sure you're in a country that has one-party permission, meaning you're a country, city, county, state, corporate entity, whatever the country's turned into. You have to be able to keep a copy of every communication you send back and forth to everybody, in person, and over the internet. That means you need to start recording every conversation you have with everybody. Just record your life, keep it for 5 years, and if nothing comes of anything, you erase it, but you keep doing it. Dash cams and body cams are now required. Or people acknowledge that if it's a rumor, an accusation, you don't report on it. Stop reporting on stuff that, unless it's an actual murder attempt, stop reporting on it. You're defending, misogyny, blah, 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 patriarchy. Go ahead and throw those comments down there. They're deleted immediately. Both of them are saying that they were involved. That's like your neighbors. Get out the banjos. That's like your neighbors screaming back and forth. I never was interested in that goat. I'm sorry, but we're at that point. This is not just the trailer park. This is the whole bayou of BS here. Okay? Were they involved? She's saying they were. He may be denying that they were in a relationship. Next, don't publicly post this crap. This means whoever you are about to do it on Facebook. Send this video to whoever you know is thinking of ratting out somebody because you're bitter about something. Get over it. Next, July to August. That's when most people do these sort of things. And then there's Christmas time, and then, okay, it's every day of the year. But anyway, so, again, did you use sources and methods for communication that would make it to where both parties would have to agree to delete something for it to truly be deleted? Because in court, I would make both of them submit all the data, all of it, not just the stuff that's pertinent, to show their behavior, pattern, and habits. Do you often delete stuff that could be useful in a court case? You'd be surprised how many people have been caught incriminating themselves by just not deleting their own emails because, honestly, they're just lazy. Yes, that's a Hillary Clinton joke. Anyway, or failing to do so, again, Hillary Clinton joke, because when you send an email, you're sending it and you're keeping it. You deleting it doesn't change whether they received it. And again, EML file, export, I'll look that up for you and put a link below. Next thing is, again, don't use a service that doesn't clearly put the exact hour, minute, and second, GMT, screw local time. Don't use local time. Did I say it twice? Good. And make sure you practice surveillance as much as you can. No, you don't have to wear a body cam that's a spherical cam pointing at you and everybody else. Just have the government send you the data. But it might be a good idea for you to start. Next, the other one is Yi Zhou. If you did this accusation and he kept the receipts, which you have to present hour, minute, and second accurate time and date stamps for your accusation to be true, and this not be a publicity stunt on one or both persons' parts. But yeah, cease and desist order, if you file it in bad faith, Renner would be in trouble, if that's how you pronounce his name. So, again, why am I saying this? I'm promoting my new product. It's vaporware. It's right here. You can't see it too. But seriously, make sure you use services, products, and things that keep everything you ever send and receive, and wait 5 years or more to delete them. And yes, don't delete them, just back them up. And yes, make sure they allow you to back up things in such a way that they cannot be falsified by you or anybody else, because they have some ability to be verifiable for a fairly long period of time, preferably 5 years. Next thing, if you make a complaint about someone last Tuesday, instead of saying July 15th, this person sent me this image and I didn't, and it was unsolicited, that's useful. But you sending a bunch of unsolicited pics back and forth for a month before or after, then it's not so unsolicited anymore because you're participating. Participator? That there's a verbal joke there. Okay, so again, now that we're done with all of this, who do I believe? I'm leaning, because of the assumed claim by, whatever tabloid, that she stated that they were in a relationship. If you're in a relationship and you send naughty pictures back and forth, how are you claiming they're inappropriate? Was he dressed up as a lobster? That's my question. Thanks for watching. Have a good day. Good luck with that.